In today's crazy world, we're constantly using things we don't need, doing things we don't like, and never really moving forward or getting the results we're hoping for in either ourselves or our animals. Are you ready for a change? Join me, Wendie Patrick, your host on Quantumly Yours, Finnessiam Health's podcast, and become empowered to take control of you and your animals' health and well-being. We're all quantumly connected, so whether you're round the corner or around the world, it doesn't matter, because we can help each other and all work together on our journeys. So come, join me, and together we'll myth bust, share advice, knowledge, truths, and suggestions to help you awaken, grow, and continue your journey to a healthier, happier life. Hi folks, it's Wendie Patrick here again, the host of Quantumly Yours from Finnessiam Holistic Health. And thank you for joining me. If this is your first time, welcome. If you are now a month or two into watching, following, and listening to our podcast, thank you very, very much. You're an absolute star and a complete trooper for going the distance and come on along with me. And today we're going to touch on a subject that affects all of us, I think, whether it's people or pets. And that's maintenance. It's like, maintenance? What do you mean maintenance? We'll get into there in a second. Until we get there, I just want to ask you, if you're watching or listening, wherever you are, if you can share, like, subscribe, put the notifications on for whenever we release another episode, which is usually every Thursday. Then please tell your friends. And please comment, because that helps us get seen in the algorithms. And we would like to get seen only for the fact that some of the stuff that we actually ramble about has been ending up being quite useful to some people. I've been getting emails and messages, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for your feedback. It means the world to me to hear that you've liked what you've heard, that you appreciate what I'm doing, and that you're thankful that somebody like me is crazy enough or brave enough, or whatever you want to label it as, to actually speak on things that not everybody will or does or can or even knows about. So thank you very much for your support. Thank you for your encouragement. And certainly, if you would like to come on the show, if you have a story as well, or part of your journey, or even, in fact, if there's some way that we've helped you or are helping you down the road, get in touch, and we'd love to book you to come on as a guest. And if you also do any modalities, natural health modalities like homeopaths, essential oils, EFT, sand play, anything at all that you think is something that people don't always know about, and that some people, or even one person, if they're listening and they hear about something else that they knew nothing about before, and that ends up helping them, well, that's really, really what my aim is. That's my own focus, is just to help someone. I've been in the doldrums before, and certainly different things that I hadn't known about have been told to me, or I've heard about them, or just tripped over them, and they've ended up helping me immensely. So certainly that's all we want to do, is pay it forward more than anything else. So on our topic today of maintenance, and what I mean by that, and why we should even consider it, and not only for us, but for our pets, especially for our pets, because they don't have the opposable thumbs. So they're relying on us for maintenance. Sadly, I get a lot of contact from people looking for help for themselves or their pets whenever it's very, very long down the road. And quite often when it comes to animals, I'm basically contacted as a last resort. That's really hard to deal with because I may only have a very short time to have spent time with this particular four-legged client, um, one as short as a week. And it's just soul destroying because I know in my heart of hearts that if some maintenance had been employed earlier on in the animal's life, it may have prevented it. I'm not saying it will, not claiming anything at all there, but if something else had been looked at or been known about. And that's the thing, a lot of pet guardians out there are not knowing about a lot of different options that are available. They're basically approached at the beginning by, here's an injection full of lots of different serums. We're going to put this into your dog and it's going to be healthy. Okay. Um, and it goes on. And then every year or 3 years, depending on where they are, they get the postcard through the mail saying, oh, we have to do that again to your animal. Bring it in. And they're not doing anything else in between, or they're not doing any homework for themselves, or they're not hearing any person like me going on about different options or different modalities or different choices and highlighting different things like ingredients and products, ingredients in food, and different things that we could be keeping an eye on to keep our maintenance schedule that much better. Now, let's touch on us for a second as people. We are very well aware of the fact that our food is so nutrient deficient these days that they even have a new deficiency syndrome title for multi-nutritional deficiency syndrome, something crazy, because of the way the farming has changed in the last 100, 200 years, because of the way the chemicals have been introduced and sprayed on crops, sprayed from the air, falling in acid rains. The fact that arable farming was basically outlawed because there was a push for farmers to get better yield from their crops. So they had to plant every year and not allow their fields to rest as they used to in the medieval times. So with that being said, a human grade product, which is what we're supposed to be eating, is about 80 to 95% nutrient deficient. Yeah, it is. Look it up. Go Google it. You can fact check me all you like, but it's true. So if we're looking at our foods being that way, then yes, we need to add things in. So we take our multivitamins, we take our multiminerals, we take our magnesiums or this or that or the other thing. And in fact, that's something I test for whenever I first see a person that's coming to me for help, is like, let's see what supplements you've got. Let me just test you for all of those. Because even though you saw something that said, oh, this is going to be great for you, you should add this in every day, it might completely be chelating against something else and not allowing the absorption to work properly. So things are out of kilter. You don't have to be a rocket science to work at what you need. But I always encourage and teach people to muscle test. And those who learn it well and do well and take charge of their own health a lot better and a lot more effectively than going on and following what some big box is advertising or some magazine is showing you or some TV advert is trying to basically brainwash you with. So with our pets, they're not getting human grade products. If you're eating or if you're feeding them a lower quality kibble that's been cooked at such a high temperature that if there was any nutrients in there to begin with, it's now been obliterated through the cooking. So then they're sprayed with topical oils, they're sprayed with other chemicals to make them appetizing. They're adding prebiotics, probiotics in there, which are not going to be any use at all because of the other end of the ingredients that are full of such toxicity to begin with. The probiotics aren't even going to make a dent in it, because the gut is going to be harmed more for what's going in with all of these chemicals from the crops, the food, the processing, all the GMOs, all the insecticides, pesticides, and in fact, even the blue juice that's used as a euthanasia drug. Because, yeah, a lot of those dead animals end up going back into the feed supply for dogs' food and cat food. It's pretty gross. Think about that. If you didn't know that, I'm sorry. I just told you. If I shocked you, I'm sorry, but it is true. So no probiotics or Greek yogurt is going to make Fluffy's tummy better. When your microbiome is gone, your microbiome is gone till you can do something to help reverse that and actually get the toxins out, which is how I help people do that. Working all around the world doing that, depending on what the dog needs. And I can test to see if the toxicity level is at a certain degree. So maintenance, how do we do maintenance then, Wendie? You're telling us all this stuff, it's all this bad stuff, blah, blah, blah. Well, the maintenance is more for the fact of you doing a little bit of homework. That's a scary thought, isn't it? You might actually have to think about something. You might have to do something, as opposed to just sit there and absorb what I'm chanting about, or what your radio is telling you about, or what your TV is showing you. Yeah, stop and think. Stop and think. Think about your own gut. Listen to your own gut. Take your ego out of the equation for a second and listen to your own gut. How do you feel about something? Is this resonating with you, or you just think I'm mad? That's fine. You'll have pressed stop or ended listening by now anyway. And if you haven't, you're going, well, get to the point, Wendie. What are you talking about? How can we do a maintenance? Well, as opposed to this dog going into, autoimmune issues, horrible skin issues, adding drug upon drug upon drug, or surgery upon surgery and not getting an answer, you can actually come back to basics, clean the whole system out, and then add in the nutrients it's missing. And that's what I help you do. Now, Smart Oil is one of my products. It was created whenever I couldn't bring CBD across the border any longer because I didn't have one of the licenses that was granted, or in fact, being in Nova Scotia, I wasn't a liquor store, therefore I did not have a license to sell CBD and couldn't bring it in across the border because it's classed as a restricted substance. So Smart Oil was formulated. There are other videos out there on all of this. There are other podcasts of mine on this. So Smart Oil was basically created as a alternative to CBD. It has all approved ingredients. We check all of our ingredients for efficacy, for cleanliness. Most of them are all certified organic. If we can find a certified organic version of our ingredients, you can bet your bottom dollar that's the ingredient that we have in the Smart Oil. But I don't pay tens of thousands to go for the organic certification at the end, so that's why you're not finding it on our bottles. But just know that our ingredients are clean. It was created for maintenance. So whenever we say, depending on the size of your animal, we base it on weight because it just makes it easier. But based on weight, then you can go, okay, well, looking at this and looking at the card that's provided with it, or the brochure, or reading the website, whatever it is you've done, you'll go 1 to 4 drops. Okay, well, 1 to 4 drops, that's fine. Well, my dog's only 5 pounds. And this, the Smart, for example, or the Small, for example, is labeled to say 0 to under, actually it says under 25 pounds. It's been a while since I looked at a label, I don't remember. So under 25 pounds. So, okay, you've got this little product in your hand now. You're standing in the store, or you're looking on the website and you're going under 25 pounds. Well, Fluffy's only 10 pounds, let's say. So that would be maybe half of a dose. It's only 2 drops a day. So Let's go along and we'll try a couple of weeks with this. We'll see what happens. Now, why did you find this to begin with? 9 times out of 10, people are coming and purchasing a product like our smart oil or like a CBD product in the States or some other product somewhere else because there's an issue. They're not purchasing this for maintenance because this is an all round good omega oil base. It's got lots and lots of phytocannabinoids in it, sesquiterpenes, terpenes, highest anti-inflammatory and antioxidant value ingredients. So this is a fantastic product for maintenance. So those 2 drops for your 10-pound dog would have been absolutely perfect if it was for maintenance. So if you're coming along and you're looking for a product like this, it's because of it's an issue. Dog's got a little bit of arthritis, stiffness in his back end, limping on a front paw, sore getting up, sleeps a lot. The dog's 9, 10, 11 years old. You haven't done anything to maintain that system at this point. Because you know what? Let's be honest. As people, 9 times out of 10, we haven't maintained our own bodies. We only deal with things when there's an issue. So whenever you go to something like this and it is an issue, double your dose. You can safely, actually, you can drink the whole bottle if you want to. It's not actually going to harm you or your pet. The body will use what it needs to because they are all natural substances. So the body understands it. It's not like it's a chemical or synthetic where the body's going, what do I do with that? That doesn't look right. I don't understand this. And it stores it off somewhere until it finds out how to deal with it, or it just ends up being a really bad buildup of something else. So you're not going to get that with this. That's the nice thing. If it doesn't work, it gets peed out. Body goes, don't need it, pees it out. So you can go 4 drops for that 10-pound dog if you wanted to, and see if that makes a difference in a couple of weeks. If you're not seeing that, you can come and make an appointment, for example, so I can test your animal for you to see whether that's working, or to see if that issue is so bad that that 10-pound dog may actually need 1 drop a day of our large breed formula. And that happens. I have quite a lot of clients with under 10-pound animals that are actually calling for the large breed, the full concentration at 1 drop. Now, that's not actually a lot because I know what's in it. It's perfectly safe to do so. But that dog is just, that system is just going to utilize that much more efficiently than doing 3, 6, or 9 drops of a smaller concentration. You understand? And with that as well, you go, but that's like $80 a bottle, whatever it is. Yeah, but once you actually do 1 drop a day, you've got 8 months worth of product. It's only costing you $10 a month. So when you do the math and you actually start to think about these things, it will actually make sense, that it makes more sense to do it or to keep on a maintenance. Nothing wrong with the animal at all. Put it on 1 drop from a year old or 6 months old. Started after it's had its spay or neuter if you do that surgery at about 2 years. It also helps with recovery, helps to get the immune system back, which also helps when you're building that to get rid of the after effects of sedation, for example, or anesthesia. So there's lots of different things you can look at for maintenance. It's the same thing. You drive your car, you do maintenance on your car, you get oil changes, you rotate tires, you put gas in. That's just maintenance. Why don't we do it to ourselves other than feeding and drinking? A couple of little overproduced, filled with fillers, sitting on a shelf for 5 years product that we think is doing us good is psychosomatic at best. It's a placebo. So you can come to me for the likes of help with supplementation to help, possibly help and reverse certain issues. Dogs have come to me after vets have even washed their hands off them and said, we can't do anything more. We don't know what it is, or this wasn't the solution, or it's too far gone. We can't do this. Certainly, if an animal is too far gone, it may still be too far gone. However, I have dogs running around out here, well, not out here, but near me, almost 3 years down the road. Yeah, 2018 was when I created Smart Oil in the fall, right about now. And a dog that was supposed to have been euthanized 3 days later is still alive today. That was after the vets didn't know what was going on. I found out what was going on. And that is our Bouvier Steele, who is our Smart Oil poster boy for sure. So maintenance is important, though. Don't wait until something is too far gone or too late in the day that it can't be helped. It's never too late. Well, sometimes it is. It's never too early to start a maintenance program with your animals or yourself for that matter. Whether it be checking out your own hormone levels, whether your collagen levels are going down. That's a big thing right now. Collagen products are the hot item, it seems to be. But if you actually had the proper nutrition in your body and your body just wasn't wearing out over time and losing its store of what it was born with, and if it's losing its store from what it was born with, it's because this isn't being replenished or replaced by good nutrition. So you need to have good nutrition, functional nutrition through cell salts, through tissue salts, and certainly good monitoring or understanding of that, and muscle testing, learning how to muscle test, doing that for yourself so that you can find out if you are depleted in something. And you wouldn't need to be throwing in these other things like these collagens or these anti-inflammatories, because your system would still be as strong as it was when it was born, maybe stronger, depending on genetic things, and that's another thing. But if you're maintaining the level that you were born at, if it was a healthy system, you're still probably only going to be about 70%. So you can actually go up from there. But maintenance, maintaining that 70% will be much better than getting to your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s. And that level going down now to 30 or 40%. Your body is having difficulty moving, energy, healing from wounds, susceptible to more disease, all sorts of things. Your dog's the same, your cat's the same, your horse is the same. So please consider a maintenance program. And I can certainly help get you, your family, your pets. We don't do third-party testing, but anyone who is actually going to be able to see me, and I have to see you under Health Canada guidelines and regulations, so that I can actually look after you as a client and help you out that way. Finnessiamhealth.com is where you'll find me. You can book an appointment through there. You can also listen to the little video when you go onto the website that tells you all about what happens when we do our testing and our appointments. So if you're ready for maintenance, give me a shout. Now, just one extra thing to go into for maintenance when it comes to your dogs and cats and horses for that matter, but you don't necessarily take them anywhere to do it. You do it yourself, is grooming. Maintaining your dog's coat will be much better on the animal and on your pocketbook from when you go to the groomer. Maintaining a regular grooming schedule, whether that's yourself with a brush and a comb every other night, depending on how long that coat is, whether it's with a bath every month or every week, depending on whether you're growing a show coat or whether you have a lab that swims in the lake, it should be rinsed all the time. All that bacteria in the lake water is getting into the skin. It's causing irritation. It might not be drying enough. Any heavier coat, wet underneath from swimming, is going to create a hot spot. Wet eczema, same thing. What you want to do is make sure that's dry. Maintenance, maintain that coat. Make sure it is clean. Make sure it is mat-free. Make sure you take all the dead coat out. That helps the dog's hair rise up and lay down as with the weather. It's called thermoregulating. Dog's hair can do that. They've got erector pili muscles connected to their hair shafts so that they can lift their hair up, flatten it down. That hair's matted. That's not going anywhere. That dog's overheating. That dog's getting uncomfortable. Moisture could be getting in between the hair and the skin, causing more skin issues. Maintenance also helps you to see an issue before it becomes one, because you're feeling the animal, you're touching it, you're seeing if there's lumps or bumps, if there's a mole, if there's a scratch, if there is a sore spot, if there's a tick, if there's fleas, God forbid. So maintenance is very important for all of us, whether it's two-legged or four-legged. So I encourage you to give it more consideration. You rely on your car all the time. You make sure it's got gas. You make sure it gets oil changes. You make sure you get your winter tires on if you're in Canada, or you rotate them and you make sure your brakes are okay. Regular maintenance is so easy when it comes to an inanimate object or your phone. You might clean the screen. You might update apps. You have to charge it. It's maintenance, simple maintenance. So we need to take a little bit more care of ourselves and our pets when it comes to maintenance, as opposed to get up, brush your teeth, have your breakfast, have your coffee, put your shoes on, go to work, have a shower, whatever. Okay. Look at what's inside. Okay. Are you getting sore? Do I need to go get an adjustment done? Do I need to see the osteopath? Do I need to go for some light therapy? Do I need to get some energy work done? Do I need to get my chakras balanced? Do I need to go for yoga? That's nice maintenance. Do I need to meditate? Perfect maintenance. Incredible. That can actually do so much more than any of us were ever taught to give credit to. Whether you're airy, fairy, floofy, or whether you're your own person on the street, meditation has been the most underrated skill or discipline that we've ever known about. Anyway, that's going off on another one, isn't it? That's not me at all. Running off on tangents. Anyhow, so please consider upping your maintenance schedule for you and your animals. And hopefully, some of that will actually prevent some very big vet bills or some very big hospital visits or a lot of pain and suffering. Worst case scenario, you increase your maintenance and nothing bad happens. That's exactly how you know you've had a very good maintenance routine. But so many don't have that. So many very seldom have that. So that's the difference. Don't wait until it could be too late where you can't fix or reverse something that's going on. Beat it before it gets to that stage. Have a look at some of our products. Have a look at other people's products. Do some homework, research, ask questions, contact people like myself, ask questions. Contact us for an appointment. We can help you on your health journey. I got rid of Lyme disease. Hello. And that was all naturopathically done. I know there's a way to do it. My maintenance now has increased so much because now I understand the importance of it. I understand the value of it. I understand how much it feels better, and now given me so much more ambition back to keep going and keep growing and keep moving forward. And I want to take you all with me. So jump on the maintenance train and let's get going. Thanks to everybody again. If you do want to reach out, finnessiamhealth.com is the best way to do so. But if you stick in Finnessiam or Dogs of Pride or Wendie Patrick or Quantumly Yours, the podcast itself, into Google, you'll find us. Just find us. So, as you know what I'm going to say now, until the next time, thanks for joining us. And of course, as always, stay possum.
All information, products, and topics discussed in the show are simply the host and guest's personal opinions and are for informational purposes only. None claim to offer a diagnosis, treatment, or cure. All listeners and viewers are encouraged to do their own research and consult with their own healthcare providers before changing or adapting any new protocols. Finnessiam Holistic Health, nor any of its entities, assume any responsibility or liability for any consequence relating directly or indirectly from the information contained within the podcast.